Welcome everyone to another packed edition of The Gimmick. My name is Ryan, and in case it wasn't obvious, we're getting high on this episode. And that is because we have a very special guest joining us. We have the high-flying, death-defying, stone Jabrone, Steve Sanders. We are also introducing a new gimmick to The Gimmick this week. I will be attempting to beat independent wrestlers at their favorite video games. And in case some of you weren't aware, I'm quite the gamer. I actually have a Twitch account, twitch.tv/Ryan Radix. This week, I'm going to be beating Steve at his own game. He challenged me to a friendly game of UFC, so while we play some UFC, he's going to be concentrating on answering some of my questions and shooting the shit. Oh, and of course, we're going to be playing best 2 out of 3 because we're not Neanderthals. Last week, I gave 5 tips to anyone out there that is looking to pursue their dream of becoming a professional wrestler. This week, I thought it would be fitting to tell my own story, share my perspective of my initial start in the industry. Not to mention, Steve is kind of the reason why I found OTW and kind of the reason why I ended up pursuing my passion, so I felt like the story would be appropriate to tell in this episode. Finally, we're going to wrap the episode off with critiquing, analyzing, and reviewing one of Steve Sanders' exciting matches, and he will actually be joining me for the review so he can also provide his insight and his analysis as well. But let me get my head out of the clouds, because we have a ton of information to talk about on this week's episode, so let's just stop shooting this shit and let's jump right into this episode of The Gimmick. And let's just jump right into it, shall we? And jump right into it, shall we?
Dude, see it.
No, I'll do that again. Stay there. That.
Ah, hit my head. Ah.
Oh. 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 And let's just jump right into this week's episode of The Gimmick. Oh. Oh. Ow. I think that was the one. What'd you think?
I didn't see it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I have a headache.
A la semifinal.
Cuidado, Vic, cuidado, porque ya está en todo lo alto, especie maligna. Allá está Blue Monster Jr., logra girar a medio camino.
Okay, everyone, I'm now joined with my guest, my good friend, the Stone Jabrone, Steve Sanders. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just chilling as usual.
You ready to get your ass beat in this game?
I think I'm gonna knock you out because I'm Conor McGregor, but yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna try my absolute best because I know I'm Ferguson. Ferguson's kind of my dude. I don't play this game nearly as much as you. It's kind of your wheelhouse, your specialty. You're better at knowing what buttons to press and what to do. I'm just kind of gonna be button mashing this whole time. But I'm hoping if I ask you questions, you'll be too sidetracked to really play the game and lose. So, Steve, for people that aren't familiar with you, you're a local independent wrestler in the Northeastern area. You started your career same place I did at OTW. I did tell that story earlier. And you were a former 3-time tag team champion with GCW's Jimmy Lloyd. You won the OTW Classic Championship. Then you went on to do H2O. You wrestled for Sean Henderson Promotions, and you've even wrestled for GCW. Correct?
Yes.
Nice.
That sounds right.
That sounds right?
Yeah.
So what have you been up to now?
Well, honestly, I haven't done anything since October. I'm just trying to play the coronavirus safe. Yeah.
I get it, though. You're playing it safe. That's a smart thing to do.
There's people in my life, like you're one of them, who could be vulnerable to something like the coronavirus, and I just, for me, I don't need, for anyone who has to wrestle or, is giving their all to it, I respect you a lot, because right now I can't do that, and it's not that I can't, it's just, it's very risky for me to do that, so I'm playing it safe, but now with the vaccine out, I'm coming back, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. I know people definitely miss you, and when you're making your triumphant return in a couple months, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But whenever you do, I know a lot of people are going to be very happy seeing the Stone Jabrone come back to wrestling. But the last time we really saw you, you were actually doing some work with GCW. You were in some scrambles, you were at the Collective, and you know, it makes sense why you are taking some time off. You're probably going to heal up a little bit because you are notorious for doing high spots of a couple different variations. You're not scared to... Oh, my God. Dude, you're going to knock me out with that kick. You're not scared to be the guy to leap off of a ladder. Oh, my... I'm going for this. Come on. You're not scared to go off of a ladder. You're not scared to fall off a wall. You do a bunch of crazy stuff, but I think you're most notorious for your other kind of high spots, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, notoriously the best high spot was with one of the best potheads in the game, right? Grim Reaper, me, KTB.
That was awesome.
I was at GCW, and yeah, it was a high spot.
It was awesome. See, what you guys did was like a blunt circle.
Hey man, shout out to KTB because he made that spot. The blunt was mine, but the spot was his. He took the blunt. And he somehow did a springboard moonsault double arm drag to me and Grim Reaper. And
it was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Made some history.
So what was that like, though? You know, being able to share the locker room with some of like the most talented and biggest independent wrestling stars. What was that like for you?
Well, for me, honestly, like when I first did GCW for the first time, I did not feel, I did not feel like I've blown. Like these guys are like legit wrestlers. Like these guys
for sure
do this day in day out. Like they I don't know. I just felt like I was
Well, you're able to hang, so don't sell your
small fish in a big pond, as they would say. Like I don't know. I wasn't sure if I was ready or not.
Well, you were able to hang in there, so it looks like you answered your own question.
Yeah.
You held your own in there. You know, and not only that, you know, you are going to make your return back to wrestling, believe it or not, at the same building where you started. In Williamstown, New Jersey, you're going to be wrestling for Sean Henderson's Promotions at Sean Henderson's birthday bash on May 30th at 4 p.m. Oh my God, don't do that to me, please. May 30th at 4 p.m. when you take on G-Raver in the main event. What are your thoughts heading into that match?
I'm really excited about that match, honestly, because when I first came back to wrestling in early 2019, Sean Henderson, he asked me, he was like, Steve, who are like your top like 5 people you want to wrestle when you wrestle again? And I was, honestly, G-Raver was like number 2, and to now be wrestling them is awesome, and that's one of the reasons, and another reason is because Sean says me and G-Raver is 2 of his best friends in wrestling right now. So.
Whoa, what about me?
I guess it could change, right?
What's up with that, man?
I mean, you had a chance, man. You could have wrestled, and
no. We don't talk about the wrestles. We don't talk about wrestles.
Maybe you would have been one of his best friends this month.
In case you couldn't tell, I'm kind of doing a YouTube thing now, like doing this thing, like kind of don't really know. Oh my God! Come on.
You do both at the same time.
No!
Oh man.
Not when getting slept like that. Oh my God. Jesus. Well, that's game 1.
That was a rough one.
My hands were like ungodly sweaty. I think that's what it was. Or that, or Tony Ferguson's jaws is made of glass or something. Oh man, that was a... Oh, I don't want to watch it back. That was just embarrassing. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. Well, luckily, it's a best 2 out of 3, so I'm going to run this back and get the dub this time. So, my next question, Steve, is how did the whole, like, Stone Jabrone thing come about? It's a pretty unique gimmick.
Yeah, I mean...
Did it start with the blunt circle at GCW? Is that how the whole thing started? Or what?
I mean, no. That's like, I guess when I first got the kind of recognition for it. But shout out to Grim Reaper because he's one of the first, I guess you could call him Stone Jabrones, right? But no, back in the day when we were training at OTW, honestly, they were like, Steve, like, who are you? Like, what's your character? And I told him, I was like, honestly, I'm a stoner. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, I smoke weed.
Well, for the kids out there, stoner means like you collect stones. Just for like, hugs, not drugs. So I'm not an advocate for this. I just wanted to throw that out there for any concerned parents or any children out there. We're just talking about collecting stones, right?
Yeah. We'll go with whatever you're saying. But listen,
I'm listening.
Listen, so
come on, Max Holloway.
OCW with their old style, like they were not cool. They were like, you can never make it. You can never make it wrestling anywhere. Being they talking about like being the weed guy.
Right.
And I don't know, honestly, like I thought they were wrong because look at one of the most over wrestlers in the history of wrestling. It's a guy who drinks alcohol
Right.
And alcohol is honestly more dangerous than marijuana.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I just knew there's a lot of weed smoking wrestling fans, so.
And you appealed that demographic completely.
Yeah, I knew that they would appreciate it at least. Like, yeah, I just knew. That was probably like 2015, 2014, and like I just knew it could work, and like that just I don't know that speaks volumes. You
Right.
Can only, grow so much somewhere sometimes, you know.
Of course, and you went out and you branched out on your own. You kind of like more or less like believed your own stuff, and like that's the biggest thing when it comes to being a wrestler. I'm gonna knock you out, dude. Come on, Holloway. When it comes to being a wrestler and branding yourself, let's go! Oh my! Forget where my line of questioning was going because it doesn't even matter. Max Holloway.
Oh man.
That's 1-1 for those keeping score at home.
right.
Let's run it back immediately. Let's just run it back. Let's keep it going.
We gotta hit the restart.
Oh man. So back to what I was saying. I lost my train of thought completely. But you have when you're being your own independent wrestler, you more or less have to bet on yourself. You have to believe in your own stuff. And you were someone that was told no to that kind of gimmick, but you saw the appeal in it. You saw the you believed in it, and that's who you are. You are the Stone Jabrone. As someone that is close to you as I am.
That's exactly why it works, and like that's why it became a thing. Like my friends would ask me like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like they would text me like, "What's up? What are you doing?" I'd be like, "Nothing, man. Just stone like a Jabrone." And that's how it really came about. Like that's just something I would say, and I was like, "That's me."
Right.
And that's why it works because it's not no bullshit.
Right. No. Oh my God, dude. How embarrassed are you gonna be if I knock you out again, dude? We have not taken it to the ground whatsoever. We have just been standing and banging right now. Like this is the way to do it. And it's the third round. I'm coming for the knockout, dude. I'm going swinging. So my next kind of question is, why is this your favorite game? Oh my God, let's go.
This is my favorite game because, in reality, UFC is the best sport in the world. It's the most. It's the most grueling, the most competitive, the most real. Like there is nothing like it's just the best sport in the world. And honestly, like I wish I would have got into it a little bit sooner, but that's all right.
Well, I'm a big proponent in like UFC and mixed martial arts is professional wrestling done right. Like, I'm a big believer in that.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not saying wrestling is more scripted entertainment where UFC is as real as it gets, but I mean, come on.
These guys sell their fights. Definitely.
They sell their fights and they'll say whatever. They cut promos. And there's characters like Conor McGregor who's playing more or less kind of a character. Like it's just pro wrestling done right with the grandiose entrances, the big events, the Bruce Buffer introductions. Like it's just pro wrestling done right. And oh my, I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Dude, if I went off of that, it'd be insane. So who's like your favorite fighter going right now?
Honestly, my favorite fighter, I guess, all time is Conor McGregor, but lately he's been falling off, which I'm not hopping off no bandwagon or anything, just when someone's not giving, like, not that he's not giving it at all, I feel like he really did train for that Dustin Poirier fight, but it just, I don't know. He's at a different time, and I just don't think he has the same, like, kind of, hunger in him, like, just to die. I don't think he's willing to die for it, and I feel like there's some fighters that are willing to die for it. One of them is Calvin Kattar. Like, that dude, even though he just lost to Max Holloway, he got punched in the face, like, 500 times, he was still just standing there, swinging, trying to swing for the fences, trying any which way to still make the fight go in his favor. God, dude. So, like, that kind of stuff I have to respect more than a guy who gets leg kicked and,
I hear you. And my favorite probably right now is Tony Ferguson. I'm pulling for him in a couple weeks when he fights.
Yeah, he needs to win as well. Same with Conor. They both need to win.
So my last question, because make no mistake about it, it's going to end in this round. I'm knocking you out. Oh, not with a kick like that. That was pretty terrible.
You better hope you're talking a big game now.
I have to. Like, I'm the... Oh, man, I'm not going to get my last question out at this rate. Come on. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I take you down or something? Like, my dude's limping to you. So my biggest question that I'm wondering is, how come we haven't worked one-on-one?
Well, the biggest reason is because you won't wrestle right now.
Oh,
That's the first reason. Second reason, the place we first started wrestling, they didn't want to. For some reason, they didn't want any of our little friend groups wrestle each other.
Right.
For whatever reasons.
I'm mashing, dude. I'm knocking you out.
Yeah,
dude.
like whenever you're ready to come back, it can happen.
Really?
Yes.
So any independent wrestling promoters out there that want to... Jeez, dude, come on. My dude's sleeping. Get up, dude. Any independent promoters out there that want to book Ryan Radix versus Steve Sanders, I'm all for it whenever, man. And just similar to this game, I'm going to win, and I'm going to knock you out. What do you think of that? I'm gonna blame that on the fact I was looking at you, and I looked away. So I don't even know what happened. Did I get knocked out or did you?
Took the eyes off the prize.
I got knocked out.
Took
Wait,
the
what?
eyes off the prize.
No, there has to be some kind of glitch or something that just happened there or something. Oh man, right when I was talking the most work. See, that's just comedic timing at its finest. Oh, I don't want to watch that again. Get this out of here. All right, end the segment. End this. Steve, I appreciate you coming out here and whooping my butt in UFC.
Yes, sir.
Great. What a fun time. Fantastic. Okay, everyone, it is now story time with Ryan Radix. And on this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you all the story of how I got my initial start in the professional wrestling industry. I truly believe my story and my journey with professional wrestling is very unique and very different than a lot of other people's, and hopefully someone out there can be inspired by my story, because I was told no in every which way and still ended up pursuing the dream despite all the negativity. I grew up always loving WWE and professional wrestling, so of course I envisioned myself posing on the top rope with the World Heavyweight Championship above my head, main eventing WrestleMania in front of all my friends and family. But the unfortunate reality of the situation is that fantasy of mine, that dream, could never really come to fruition, and it was due to something completely out of my hands. To those that are not familiar with my story, I have 2 autoimmune disorders, so the idea of me ever even stepping foot in a wrestling ring was foreign. My doctors told me to my face that I'll never be able to live out my dream. So after being told no constantly, I guess I kind of just ended up resenting professional wrestling. And I remember scrolling on Twitter on a random Monday night and seeing somebody I went to school with being attacked by a bunch of my classmates because he was live tweeting about Monday Night Raw. I remember clicking on this man's profile. It ended up being Steve Sanders, and I never heard of him. I never knew anything about him. I saw he went to my school, so I ended up following him because I admired this dude's bravery for live tweeting about Raw, knowing all the impending backlash that was coming his way. And then one random day, Steve Sanders ended up uploading a picture to Instagram of a wrestling ring from a wrestling organization, a local independent wrestling company, and he was promoting his upcoming debut. And I reached out to him. I thought it was the coolest thing that not only is this guy a wrestling fan, he's actually pursuing the thing that I wanted to do, which is be a wrestler. So I immediately hit him up. I was like, dude, I think this is so cool. You're going to be a professional wrestler. That's awesome. To which Steve Sanders promptly and swiftly responded with, F you. I guess Steve thought I was making fun of him or belittling him, and I completely wasn't. I told him, I had to clarify with him, like, dude, I was not being condescending in the slightest bit. I genuinely think it's so cool that you're doing this because that's my dream. And Steve ended up recommending that I go and check out OTW live, watch one of their live shows. So I did do that. I ended up going to the show. I guess seeing somebody my age, someone that went to my school, be able to accomplish this goal, it inspired me. It made me want to keep getting blood work done, keep checking my doctors, keep asking them, is there any way I can do this? I had multiple blood transfusions. I had to go on anabolic steroids. I did whatever it took so my numbers could be high enough that I was able to compete in wrestling. Unfortunately, nothing worked. Eventually, I got prescribed some medication that had my numbers be stagnant, so I ended up getting the okay from my doctors. I'll never forget the doctor's face when they gave me a thumbs up and said, Ryan, it looks like you're going to be a professional wrestler after all. So of course, getting great news like this, I was ecstatic. I told everyone and anyone, I didn't care who didn't want to listen. I screamed it from the rooftops that I'm going to be able to live out the dream. And I was met with a ton of backlash because of it. Now mind you, I was in high school at the time, and the kids in my school were just completely ruthless to me. I mean, they were just straight up brutal, constantly making fun of me, constantly poking fun at me. I guess it was because I was 99 pounds soaking wet. I didn't look like a larger-than-life superhero like John Cena and Hulk Hogan, so I guess their way of handling it was just to completely bully me. That, or the fact that they hated the fact that someone their age was accomplishing something and actually caring about something and being so passionate about something that they go and pursue it, and it was a reminder of their shortcomings, one or the other. I even got negativity from my own father. I mean, I vividly remember sitting my father down and being like, hey Dad, I want to be a professional wrestler. And he told me to my face, I would have rather you told me you wanted to be a ballerina dancer. Thanks, Dad. I had my first pro wrestling training on July 2nd, 2014, and believe it or not, me getting in the ring and actually doing the thing wasn't even the most interesting part of the night. On my first day, I just ran the ropes, so I was constantly hitting the ropes back and forth, which you can imagine. I got some kind of marking, some bruising on my back, and I ended up taking a picture of the bruises, of the welts on my back. I uploaded it to Twitter with the caption, "How fake is it now?" And boy, what a shitstorm I created on Twitter. Some comments were positive and supported me, telling me how happy they are that I'm able to do this, while other people were telling me and reminding me that wrestling is fake, as if I didn't already know that. Like, thanks, dude, appreciate it. And other people were sending me South Park memes. The drama and the toxicity got so bad that Steve Sanders actually ended up jumping in on the fun, coming to the rescue, and fighting off all of these trolls with me. I ended up doing the mature thing. I took myself off the platform. I ended up not going on Twitter for the entire summer because I wanted to focus every single one of my days, all of my attention, on being the best professional wrestler that I could be. And boy, did it feel good when I went back to school in the fall and was able to rub in all of those people's faces. I put a little size on, was able to actually back up some of my words and show some footage of me in the ring. So all of that hating people were doing, they ended up being the same people that would pay money to go watch me wrestle on a Saturday night. I'm telling you all, it is the most gratifying and satisfying feeling watching someone that was constantly telling you how uncool wrestling was sit in the front row at one of your shows, stuffing their face with a hot dog, watching you do what you do best, performing in the middle of the ring. So that is the story of how I started in wrestling. It's very different than a lot of other people's, as I said. I was dealt with a lot of toxicity, but despite all the negativity in my life, I powered through. I was tunnel visioned, I was goal oriented, I was driven, I was motivated, and I ended up living the dream. So to anyone out there that has been told no, I understand the frustration, I understand how you're feeling, because I was told no by doctors and parents and friends and colleagues. But you have to block all the negativity out, and if you want something bad enough, you have to go out and do it and make those people eat their words. So if this story was beneficial to you in any way, shape, or form, and if you enjoyed this type of story and you want to hear more stories, please let me know down below. And special shout out to Steve Sanders, because he was kind of the reason why I found OTW. He was kind of the reason that pushed me and motivated me to actually pursue my passion. So Steve, thanks, man. Oh, and thank you for having my back against all those Twitter trolls. I really do appreciate that. Okay, we're going to take a look now at Steve Sanders versus Dyln McKay from H2O's final opportunity, August of 2020. I remember this being a pretty good match.
Yeah, I was really excited for this match because I never wrestled Dyln McKay at this time. But weird enough, I was at his first night of training there, and I just got a crazy vibe from him.
Oh, look at that! Look at you're starting the match off with a Mazda doll.
Exactly.
Knee starting hot, getting a roundhouse kick, and Dyln picking you up and slamming you down, which is a nice bump, real nice.
Yeah, it's a little innovative move.
Not a sense of urgency at this point. You're either starting hot, you're getting right into the falsies, shooting off the top rope.
He didn't get all of it though.
Didn't get all that one.
No, he didn't.
That's what I heard.
He didn't land fully.
No, you nice bump. You're still holding your ribs. You're feeding to the outside at this point. You know, a nice way to start the match off.
That's how you didn't get all of it.
Didn't get all that one. Hits the ropes. Nice. Teasing the dive when he eventually inevitably does hit the dive later. You cut him off with a nice kick.
Does he hit the dive?
At some point. I mean, you should know this. You were in the match. I wasn't. Nice. Teasing the DVD on the apron. Nice. Look at all this. This is a nice and smooth, fast-paced, hot start. Real hot start.
Yeah, Dyln's really good.
That looked like a shoot.
That was a shoot.
Nice. Great spot.
Yeah, Dyln is really good.
Oh, yeah. He's really good for where he's
Especially
at.
When it comes to athletics of wrestling, he's on a different level.
And I appreciate the fact you're still holding your ribs at this point. You're still in pain.
Well,
Selling the
now he's hit
turnbuckle.
me with 2 shooting star presses, so.
Makes sense. Beautiful whip. Way to follow through on that whip. Really good work there. Took a nice kick. Oh, that dirty bastard heel, Steve. Pushing the ref. Causing him to nut himself in the top rope.
See, I got mixed reactions from that.
No, because the crowd didn't know how to really respond at this point. Seeing you do something like that.
Like, I'm not like a heel, so it's like, but
Nice superplex off the top. Nice bump. Dyln, being the babyface, holding his back, showing he's a little bit in pain. 1, 2. Nice kick out. And you're letting the crowd know how you really feel about them.
Yeah, but that's not the best character work, we'll say.
No.
Like, it's not the just because you if you don't have nothing to do, you shouldn't just do something for no reason. You know?
No, especially the middle finger, something
Exactly.
that everyone else does.
Exactly.
Like everyone in the indies just gives the middle finger. Like we all got 2 middle fingers, man. It doesn't mean we should always use them all the time to get a reaction. I think it's kind of cheap.
Exactly, 100%.
But again, you're probably feeling a little awkward. Crowd's not really being too receptive to you at this point, so your way of getting a reaction is just giving the middle finger. Real smooth right there. Going for the DVD. He's fighting his way out of it. Nice. Caught him. This time you were successful at DVD. Little awkward positioning there. You go for the knee as a follow-up. Misses. Roll through. He goes for the cutter.
Shout out to Marcus Mathers.
He stole his best friend's move right there. You have him up for the DVD one more time. This time you're successful. Let's see if you hit the knee. Nice, and now you hit the knee. So your way to tease it, you had a spot you had in mind, and you just kept teasing and teasing and teasing until you eventually hit it. Blue Thunder Bomb. Nice strong kick out by Dyln McKay there.
It's an important part of wrestling is building to the moves that you're about to do. That's
right. Otherwise, it doesn't mean as much. You have to make it mean something by constantly teasing it, constantly letting the crowd know it's going to happen, and then when it happens, it means that much more.
Exactly.
I mean, he's already up at this point, and you're not even on the top rope. I don't know how they feel about that. Nice kick, though. Nice. Now, this is the part I kind of disagree with in this match. You guys go to the top rope again, and you guys hit a Spanish fly. The crowd is kind of dead at this point, and I think it's because you guys just hit a superplex off the top rope. You guys just did a big bump at the top, and now you went for it again.
That was a little bit ago, but I agree. We could have definitely teased the we could have done something on the top rope to not just go straight to Spanish fly.
See, you didn't tease the Spanish fly, which is why the crowd really wasn't too receptive to it.
Yeah.
They just saw a big bump. It wasn't successful. You didn't get the win. You didn't pin them successfully. So why they think the match is going to end off the Spanish fly, I guess. They really weren't too invested in it. And now doing a strike exchange in the middle of the ring. Good positioning on your behalf, getting into the middle. Nice. I like it when guys take their time with strike exchange. It's not just rapid firing and just no selling all of the strikes. It's not.
Especially off of a quote unquote double down off the Spanish fly.
Now you're progressing the strike exchange by not doing some running spots, going back and forth like that. I think that's pretty good progression. You guys built up to it. He met you at the ropes with a forearm. There's that beautiful German suplex bump that you take so well. Dangerous as hell, but I mean, if you can do it safely, I mean, more power to you. It makes you stand out a little better. Nice kick. He's on point. How did those kicks feel? Were they nice and safe?
Yeah, they were safe.
Nice.
He knows how to. That's the thing. Dyln McKay always tells me he's not flexible, but I've never seen him miss a kick. So.
No, it was beautiful, man. Beautiful. And I like this at this point, slowing it down. He wasn't able to get the win there, so he's taking his time, he's breathing, showed a bit of emotion on his face, showed a little body language of frustration that he wasn't able to get the win.
Well, exactly. That's the main thing about wrestling, and like you said, we started off with the little Jorge Masvidal spot. You always got to be going for the win, and I feel like we've probably done probably 5 pins already, maybe.
I like the different in pace this time, how slow he was getting the top rope. Exhaustion starting to set in, frustration starting to set in, so he's a little slower getting there. He pulled your leg out. Now this time, he is successful with the dive. Oh my God, what a beautiful suicide dive that was.
First time he hit the shooting star and missed the suicide. Second time he missed the shooter and hit the suicide. So
little psychology, things like that.
Exactly.
And you put this match together, correct?
Yeah, like I had a very big part in putting a lot of my matches together.
Good. That was insane. That was
Yeah.
insane. He looked like he ate his face on the grass, dude. Was he eating that grass?
Nah,
Eating the fertilizer?
He said he was okay.
Oh, man, dude.
Now, remind you, this is August, so it's a little hot.
I'm sure fatigue started to set
This
in.
is my first match in March to August. What's that? 6 months?
Right.
Nah, 5 months. But yeah.
Still a long time, and,
Exactly.
the fatigue starts to, catch up with you. Getting blown up is, like, the most uncomfortable feeling in the entire world. That feeling just sucks, being blown up and still having to wrestle on, like, 7 minutes left of your match. It's not a fun feeling, and now you can tell the pace starting to slow down a little bit. He puts you back in the ring. You're kind of feeding your way for another top rope. Good on Dyln right here. I didn't know he did that. He was kind of get the crowd up with him.
Yeah, he's
Successful,
trying to
too.
get the crowd
The crowd got into it.
Mm-hmm.
This time going for it again. Oh! So you would think that he would hit it there, because that's what fans are so programmed to believe, is that, oh, this time's going to hit it, but he wasn't.
Exactly.
You were able to get him in a submission in midair. I think it was a really good spot right there.
He's thrown probably like 5 or 6 shooting star presses already in this match.
Yeah, it's a true testament to that guy's win.
Yeah, and his skill. Every one of them's been money too.
Nice. After you did submission,
Exactly.
he returns the favor with a submission of his own. Going to the top rope again. Now this time you meet him with a strike. You can tell that the pace, like I said, is setting in, where you guys were so fast in the open, did a bunch of falsies and tried getting the win early. Now, I don't know what you're going for here. Looks like another Spanish fly of some sort. Oh my lord. Top rope, hip toss neck breaker.
Yeah, we didn't really tease that one
No.
either, but
That's my biggest critique, is the fact that that's the third big bump off the top rope. I mean, I applaud you, gentlemen, for being that nuts, but
Dyln, that's the one thing about this match. It's like we did go to the top rope so much, but like
the story is,
realistically, isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Right.
Like, all of his main moves are off the top rope. I go to the top rope.
now you're trying to, one up him, going for
Exactly.
a top rope move of your own. Let's see what you bust out here. Nice.
We call that the twister.
Why is it called a twister? I wonder.
Because we like to twist shit up.
Twist shit up.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave
The
it
Stone
at that.
Jabrone's to twist things up. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, we'll leave
But
it
look,
at that
see,
one.
look at this. This is really important here. Look at that great shot by the cameraman, just getting a nice close-up.
Really good camera work.
Really good camera work right there. Really good emotion of the realization setting in. This is my opportunity. He just went for a move. He missed. Now it's my time. Let's see what he goes for here. See how he's crawling. It's the little things like that. Now he's crawling, where before he was so quick to get to the top rope. Now he's taking his good old time up there. Once again, he gets nutted on the top rope. I think every time someone goes to the top rope, someone tries meeting somebody.
Every time we did it a little different. If you
Right.
There
The
is
first
that.
time it was pushing the ref. Then it was like an enziguri. Now it's this kind of way.
punch.
Now, Steve, aware of all the shooting star, how dangerous Dyln McKay can be on the top rope, you're now bringing a chair into the ring. I don't know what you're going for here. Maybe another one of those. Oh, it's another superplex on top of the chair, maybe. Interesting way to get you down at the top. You're now sitting. You're now putting your head on the seat of the chair. What is Dyln McKay going for? Oh my God. That was insane.
Double stomp right on the back. Of
Double stomp right to the back of the dome. And he kicks out. No, I'm just kidding. The visual itself was good, and that's a believable enough finish. That's a finish that feels appropriate. That it's believable that would take you out.
And he went back to the shooting star press, just a little different, a little more brutal.
Right.
I don't
Where
know.
the shooting.
I'm very proud of that match, in my personal opinion.
No, I think this was a very good showing of yours. I think this was a very good showing of Dyln McKay.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It speaks volumes to Dyln McKay's athletic ability.
100%. I think my only critique and one takeaway that I would just recommend to everybody is sometimes less is more. I think that's kind of a little bit of the problem why the crowd didn't react as much as you maybe were hoping for them to. I'm a big proponent of, like, I don't know if I would have done 3 top rope moves in a 10 minute match or whatever.
But overall, I was just super satisfied with the match. The work, like, everything from bell to bell, I was happy with.
Right, the little in-betweens were really
Exactly.
good in that match. The pacing was appropriate. The selling was good. The moves were insane. So people, you know, a little bit of everything in that match.
Exactly.
Which is why I decided to showcase this match on this week's episode. So that will conclude this week's episode of The Gimmick. Steve, thank you very much for, I don't know what that was. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Thank you so much for coming on the episode and hanging out, playing some UFC, beating my ass in UFC. I'm not going to put on the camera what you're doing right now. But I do appreciate it. Hopefully someone out there was inspired by some of the stories being told in the episode, had some entertainment when it comes to the gameplay, and maybe learned a thing or two about wrestling from the analysis of the match. With that being said, thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thank you for watching.